Hey Joe fans, I'm JoeFan82 here with another action figure review. Today I'm looking at the Sonic Fighters Dreadnought Road Pig, part of the Final 12 from the G.I. Joe Collectors Club. Here he is in the package. We've got the G.I. Joe logo on the top, Cobra Enemy, GIJoeClub.com exclusive. Some excellent artwork there. I really love that image. The retro Hasbro logo on the bottom left. And we got the Sonic Fighters logo hidden sort of behind the figure, and it says backpack with sound effects not included, unfortunately. And here is the figure in the bubble. Here's the back of the card. We have that same gorgeous artwork on the top. The Sonic Fighters logo. It says G.I. Joe Club exclusive 6 of 12. And the file card on the bottom. The file card says Sonic Fighters Dreadnought, codename Road Pig. File name Donald DeLuca. Primary military specialty Dreadnought Enforcer. Secondary military specialty Zarana's Bodyguard. Birthplace Go Blue, Michigan. The first paragraph says, Road Pig is the only Dreadnought to have ever gone through a probationary period. He is extremely obnoxious and smells worse than anyone would think is humanly possible. This guy pushes the needle to red on the evil meter. I mean, we're talking low on the food chain and high on the nasty list. No one knows for sure how he obtained his high-tech sonic and laser weaponry. Suffice it to say, the guy he borrowed them from isn't around to talk about it anymore. Road Pig is gross on all levels. He doesn't drink grape soda and eat chocolate-covered donuts like the other Dreadnoughts. He subsists entirely on a diet of junk food that includes barbecue-flavored fried pork rinds, frozen burritos, corn dogs, and stale bubble gum. Once a year, when he brushes his teeth, he has to use industrial tub cleaner instead of toothpaste. And the quote on the bottom says, I think, therefore I smash. This figure is based on the vintage 1991 Super Sonic Fighters version of Road Pig, which itself was a repaint of version 1 from 1988. The most notable difference is they gave him quite the spray tan, something that wasn't carried over to the modern figure. Otherwise, the similarities are pretty strong. They got the same orange armor, same overall color scheme. Really nice job. Road Pig has one of the best head sculpts in the modern era, in my opinion. Just a really nice job on the sculpt. The paint apps on this figure are really good. He's got the bright orange and green hair that goes all the way around. He's got 2 earrings, and he's looking like he's ready to punish some Joes. He's got some very nicely detailed orange, looks like football gear, armor. A very nice sculpt on that. The only thing that's missing is some more paint detail. He's got a Anarchy tattoo on his bicep, something new for the modern figure. Some blue fingerless gloves, a bright green belt with an orange buckle, dark blue pants, and some bright green armor across his shins. And these can slide off if you want them to. Just slide them off the front. And he's still left with the green knee pads and brown boots. Let's talk accessories. He comes with what I think is one of the coolest accessories in the modern G.I. Joe line, the cinder block hammer. This sculpt is excellent. Paint apps are great. It doesn't get much better than that, folks. He's got a wrist-mounted crossbow. The bottom part of it that attaches to his wrist just slides into that notch there. A brown gun. I don't know what kind of gun it is, but it looks very impressive. A smaller brown rifle and one black figure stand. He looks great with the rest of the Dreadnoughts, but I think he looks even better paired with Ninja Force Zartan. He even looks good on Zartan's bike. It's articulation time. His head does a slight up and down movement and can do a full 360. His shoulder, his left shoulder anyway, comes up about so far. His right one is hindered some by his shoulder pads. He's got a 90-degree bend at the elbow, and pretty good range of motion there. Comes all the way around. There's a 360 turn at the wrist. No other movement there. A joint at the midsection. You can do an ab crunch. Moving down, his legs come up about so far. He's got double jointed knees. And his ankle can do a full 360 with a toe point. If you remove his orange gear, he has a big red cobra tattooed on his chest. Probably the most interesting thing about this character that was not mentioned in his file card is his split personality. This is something that Larry Hama introduced in the original Marvel comic run. It was common to see Road Pig expressing himself very eloquently and well-spoken one second, and then turning around and sounding like a complete Neanderthal the next. For example, in this panel, he says, "I extrapolate a scenario in which a preemptive strike on the G.I. Joe headquarters would seem appropriate. Da Stomporama." If another writer wanted to take a serious look at this character, I think this character trait would be a very interesting facet to look at. As a big fan of the Sonic Fighters, I was really excited when they announced this figure would be released with the final 12, and I am very impressed with the figure. Overall, really good job. It really is a no-brainer for the club to have done this figure. It was just a basic repaint from the other figure released in 2011 with that Dreadnought set. The articulation is good, paint apps are great, Sculpt is one of the best we've seen out of the modern line. If you have any interest in the Sonic Fighters or the Dreadnoughts, or just in really cool action figures, I highly recommend picking this one up if you can find it. Well guys, that does it for this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos, and I will see you next time.